She stepped forward like she already owned the room. No hesitation, no pause, just straight to mic, commanding the entire space like everything was under control. The way she moved, the way she spoke, it all felt too smooth, too prepared, almost like every second had already been planned. She energized the crowd, controlled the mood, and kept all eyes on herself, while his parents stood quietly in the background, barely speaking at all. At the same time, he kept repeating the same thing. He felt no guilt, but behind closed doors, the people closest to him were starting to clash. And what began as grief quickly started looking like something much deeper. It was no longer just about loss. It became a battle over influence, control, and what would happen next. When she began pushing what she called his final message everywhere, non-stop, people online immediately started paying attention. Questions started flooding in fast. Who was really benefiting behind the scenes? Why were there sudden merch drops? Fast decisions involving the house, paperwork moving quickly, and control of everything connected to his name shifting so fast. Then his parents made one serious legal move, and overnight, everything changed. But here's the part many people still aren't connecting. The moment those late 2025 rumors about Charlie's passing started spreading online, it felt like a different kind of countdown had begun. Not a normal clock, a business clock. Because Charlie's name was never just a name. It was attached to an entire machine. Shows, books, merchandise, loyal supporters, sponsorships, and a massive public platform. And according to what many people were saying, Erika Kirk stepped into that CEO role at Turning Point USA incredibly fast. So fast that people barely had time to process it. No major public disagreement. No visible family tension. No one else stepping forward. Just a smooth transition that made a lot of people stop and ask questions. Because let's be honest, organizations like that don't simply hand over power overnight. There are boards, legal teams, private meetings, votes, and serious internal discussions. That kind of leadership change usually takes time. So the speed of that move had people wondering what really happened behind the scenes and who approved everything so quickly. And that CEO title was only the beginning. If even half of the public speculation was true, there were talks about major financial payouts, a home sale, and a growing trail of money tied to Charlie's legacy. Royalties were still coming in from his content, his brand, and his show. His influence was still generating attention long after everything changed. Then came the book, Stop in the Name of God, Why Honoring the Sabbath Will Transform Your Life, released after his passing and promoted as his final message to the world. But instead of stepping back, Erika stayed front and center. She led the rollout, controlled the promotion, and made sure every moment stayed in the spotlight. To many people watching, it no longer looked like a simple tribute. It looked like a full operation still running strong under Charlie's name. Reports claimed the merchandise alone had already crossed over $200,000 in revenue, with numbers still climbing. That's not small. That's serious money. And with Erika reportedly leading from the top, people started asking even harder questions. Then something small but powerful sparked even more attention. People noticed that the wedding photo of Erika and Charlie had reportedly been removed from Charlie's office. At first, it seemed minor, but fans who had followed him for years recognized that office instantly. The bookshelf looked familiar. The setup looked the same, but that framed wedding photo that had always been there was suddenly gone. And people noticed something else too. Some viewers pointed out that Erika also wasn't wearing her wedding ring in newer footage. That's when the internet really started talking. Because to many people, it didn't look like grief. It looked like a reset. And once that idea entered the conversation, the comment sections exploded. Everyone kept asking the same question. What has really happened behind the scenes? Of course, a missing photo alone proves nothing. People handle loss differently, and grief is never simple. But when multiple small details start appearing together, people naturally begin connecting dots. Then came the podcast controversy. Based on public claims made by Candace Owens, reports began spreading that Erika may have pushed or removed the Charlie Show from major platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Listeners went looking, and many noticed the same thing. Episodes were harder to find. Archives looked incomplete. Some content simply wasn't appearing the way it used to. But what made people pause even more was this. The episodes were still available on Rumble and on Turning Point USA's official website. That raised a huge question. Why were some platforms affected while others stayed untouched? And once money entered that conversation, speculation exploded. Platforms like Spotify, Apple, and YouTube can generate major ad and streaming revenue. So people started asking whether different payout systems were involved. Some believed that removing content from certain platforms could directly affect where the money was going. Nothing has been officially proven, but the uneven removals kept the rumors alive, because this backlash was no longer about politics. It became about perception. It became about money. It became about control. And most of all, it became about what people believed was happening behind the scenes with everything Charlie left behind. People started connecting every detail. The missing wedding photo, the missing ring in newer videos, the selective podcast removals, and to many watchers, it no longer looked like random coincidence. It felt like a pattern. One strange moment could be explained away, but a chain of moments? That's when people started paying much closer attention. Podcast archives disappearing from certain platforms, financial control shifting quickly, the sudden leadership transition. When all of it was placed side by side, the picture became harder for many people to ignore. Then another major question started spreading online. What about Charlie's will? There were unconfirmed rumors, heavily discussed across social media, suggesting that Erika may have been removed from parts of Charlie's will. If that were true, it would mean Charlie may have made decisions before his passing about where his legacy and assets should go, and those decisions may not have fully included her. That kind of rumor alone was enough to make people revisit everything from a completely different perspective. At the same time, there was also growing chatter around Charlie's sister, Mary Kirk. Some people speculated that she may have won a stronger role in the future Turning Point USA and in protecting what the organization would become after Charlie. Whether any of that was truly happening behind closed doors remains unclear. But the combination of rumors, timing, silence, and unanswered questions kept the conversation growing louder by the day. Even if it was still mostly internet speculation, it added another complicated layer to an already tense situation. Here's the point many people kept coming back to. By the time Charlie's parents finally made their move, things had already been building for a long time. This didn't feel like an emotional reaction or a sudden family breakdown. It looked more like the result of months of tension, growing suspicion, and private concerns behind the scenes. And according to widespread reports and online discussion, Charlie's parents made one move that changed everything. They went after the one thing everything was connected to: his name, not the book title, not the company branding. His actual name, Charlie, the same name tied to the merch, the media appearances, the books, the fundraising, and everything connected to his public legacy. And if those reports are accurate, his parents made a legal move to secure control over that name itself. That's where the entire situation became even bigger, because a trademark on a name is not symbolic. It carries real legal power. It can determine who gets to sell products under that name, who can profit from it, and who can be blocked from using it entirely. When money is involved, that kind of control becomes extremely important. Whoever controls that trademark can decide how the name is used commercially. That could affect merchandise sales. It could affect books promoted under his name. It could impact events, branding, sponsorships, and even marketing campaigns built around his legacy. And when people started talking about reported merch revenue crossing over $200,000 and possibly still rising, that made the pressure even stronger. Because if Charlie's parents truly control that trademark, then suddenly the entire revenue stream becomes a major legal question. Now it's no longer just about memory. It becomes about ownership, approvals, rights, and control. Every product, every event, every public use of Charlie's name in business could become something that requires legal permission. And according to online claims, Charlie's parents may not have stopped with just a trademark filing. Some reports suggested they also began releasing their own Charlie-related merchandise independently, without going through Erika or Turning Point USA. If true, that sent a very strong message. They were not waiting. They were moving on their own terms. They were building something separate. After that, rumors of legal conflict spread fast. People began speculating that Erika might be preparing legal action against Charlie's parents, or that legal steps may have already started behind the scenes over the trademark and merch situation. Nothing has been officially confirmed, but the fact that these conversations were happening at all showed how serious things had become. Because for months, Erika had positioned herself as the person carrying Charlie's legacy, the voice behind his final message, the public face of everything left behind. And for a long time, that image went mostly unchallenged. She looked like the person in full control. But here's the reality. A trademark doesn't care about emotional speeches. It doesn't care about appearances. It cares about paperwork. And if Charlie's parents truly hold that legal control, then the entire power dynamic can shift overnight. That's what made the situation feel so layered and honestly impossible for many people to ignore. Charlie's parents stayed quiet after everything happened. They didn't rush to interviews. They didn't dominate the memorial. They didn't launch a public campaign. While Erika stepped into the spotlight, took center stage, promoted the book, pushed the merch, and strengthened her leadership position, his parents remained silent. Many people assumed that silence meant acceptance or private grief. But what if it wasn't silence? What if it was strategy? Because going after a trademark is not emotional. It requires legal planning, timing, and serious intent. While Erika was building the public side of Charlie's legacy, his parents may have been securing the legal foundation underneath it, and that changes everything. There's also another layer people keep bringing up, though it should be approached carefully. Older, unverified rumors about Erika began resurfacing online during all of this. None of those claims have been proven, but once public suspicion starts growing, people use everything to shape their opinions. That's how perception works. Once people believe they see a pattern, financial moves, platform removals, personal details changing, family tension, it becomes much easier for suspicion to spread. And once that happens, every action gets viewed through a much harsher lens, whether that judgment is fair or not. Now at a possible trademark battle, family legal tension, and questions about ownership of Charlie's legacy, and the story becomes even more intense. Many people online began framing it as someone building an entire operation around Charlie's name, only to potentially face serious limits on using that same name moving forward. And the irony wasn't lost on anyone. The CEO role was secured, the book rollout was successful, the merch was moving, the spotlight was there, everything looked locked in. And right in the middle of all of that, one legal move from his parents may have changed the entire game. Because in the eyes of many people watching, this stopped being just about grief a long time ago. It became about control. And now, the biggest question is no longer whether Erika responds. Most people assume that part is coming. The real question is, who ultimately controls Charlie's?